Oh, wait, what the fuck were we just talking about?
We were,
You like that? You like that?
Have you heard of Firas Zahabi? Mm-mm. He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot. He's been
love
on
Joe
just
Rogan.
Fight Tips. It's a good channel on YouTube. I follow UFC a lot too, but the Firas Zahabi guy, he trained George St. Pierre, and George St. Pierre is like, when I look at him, I think of a gymnast. Do you know who he is?
Yeah, I know. Yep.
And the way they train and the way he talks about training is, the more you do like a heavy squat, like let's say a 1 or 2 rep.
Yeah.
You have the braces all wrapped around your knees. You
Yeah.
got like 5 back braces on.
Yeah, you get the belt.
3 people around you. You're literally teaching your body to move like a tow truck.
Yeah.
And it makes a lot of sense, because someone who does that like all the time, just trying to set PRs, you're not going to create any sort of efficiency, like just with anything longer than 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. He's just said train like a Ferrari, not a tow truck. And it makes a lot of sense. And I think the way you say you don't lift heavy, it's something on this channel, like I try to push heavily, and a lot of people I get in person, some of them it's really not for them, because it's that type A personality. It's like, let's up the weight, come on. But I'm like, we're doing high rep, like there's a different day for that. I don't think you should cut it out completely, but the light lifting is pretty much like all I ever do right now. So
what rep range do you recommend?
I don't count anymore too much either. Like that's something too. I think it turns off a lot of people I train. Yeah. Because I'll just say, start going. Like, how many? I'm like, I don't know. Just keep going.
I'll let you know when you're done.
And there is a lot of truth to that, especially when you start looking single extremity. And that's something I try to help people with too. And I do the circumference measurements on the quad, calves, bicep, forearm, and just show them, like, you might not be feeling anything different right now, but this bicep is actually 3 or 2 inches larger. So why is that? And like long term, what do you think that's going to do to your body?
So that's your metrics, like, instead of, hey, how heavy is or what's your PR for squat or whatever.
I'll be counting in my head like what they're doing, so I know like they got 25 that side, they got 16 on that side, and started to slow it down. But they don't need to know the numbers, because when they start hearing the numbers, I think it just gets in their head with some people. But some people you do that with, they're like, fuck is this? Like, what are you doing?
As long as you're just tracking incremental gains and you have some sort of metric. I agree with that. I just don't like lifting heavy, because I know what that can lead to and the injuries that it can cause, and I can't treat myself, so
that's what I think about all the time too, because like I think about the work I put into people's bodies on the table. I'm like, I don't want to have to come and do this once a week, like get stretched out like this. And with the heavy lifting, I always just use the analogy, like, think of someone holding a rope with an anvil over your toe, and every year you're gonna take one more nick at that. And I like to think about the tendons and ligaments and stuff with the heavy lifting. And I've had people get mad at me too, just talking about that, because like, they lift heavy for their life. Like, that's what they do. It's their training method. They don't have any injuries. So who am I to say that? You know? But if you look at just more times than not, someone who's not warming up properly, they're putting the shit around their knees all the time and squatting. What are you really teaching your body to do, And I think you should have balance. I don't think there's one practice that's actually like the best. Finding a little bit in each thing and putting it into your own program, I think people end up being the happiest with their training, and that happiness should provide longevity. So.
And that's the goal. You want to be able to do it for a long time. So
I try to scare people a little bit with longevity stuff.